So guys, welcome back to the channel, and this is going to be a fairly short review, put it that way. This right here is the USB-C 67 watt power adapter by Apple. Now you normally find these, this is comparable to $52. When I looked online, I seen it for 50 bucks, 60, 70, depending on the seller. I'm not sure what Apple themselves sell it for, but just know that it's not $30. It's always more money. Now, what is it used for? Anything that you want it to. It does have USB-C to USB-C, or more so USB-C to Lightning cable for the people that are using older Apple products, though mostly everybody else is using USB-C to USB-C. So with that being said, let's talk about it. Is it worth it? I do have one already and I used it. So for the people out there wondering if it can be used for other objects outside of Apple products, absolutely. And I'm going to show you how in a second. Anyway, let's get right into this review. Now, first things first, let me just say that this cord, the only reason I bought it is because it says it has a 60 watt acceptance rate for chargers. Remember, each cord is not the same. For instance, I have a USB-C to USB-C. This is actually from the OnePlus 7T, I believe. So I had this for many, many years, right? And this is normally my go-to cord, and I have many different tips. Like for this, for instance, this one is 65 watts. 65 watts in the first one, at least that's what it says on paper. It says 45 watts for the C2 and then 30 watts for this one. It's one of my favorite chargers. Outside of OnePlus devices, most devices, it's super fast charges, turbo charges. It does everything that it needs to do. I love this cable. Now, I happen to buy this one because, well, review purposes, of course, and I already have one. I had one for about probably 2 months now, I think. And I keep it home. I keep it plugged into the wall. It charges my Steam Deck, charges my Nintendo Switch. It charges when I did have a MacBook, I forget which year, but it did charge the USB-C. I even used it to charge some of my USB-C tablets and laptops that I used to have at 1.2. So it's always good to have something with a big power supply. So it fell out of the box. That's okay. It's alright if it takes a little bit damage because this is just for opening reasons, and I'm going to end up using this as an everyday charger anyway. So it is pretty hefty, if we're being completely honest here. Really weighty. I will say that Apple tends to make really, really nice products with nice presentations. You saw what I had to do, peel the tab back just to get into this, but you're not here for that. You're here for me to talk about this. So let me make a quick comparison right here. This is a 65 watt charger from Modern Tech. I did a review on it. I'm dropping everything. Sorry for the noise alert. I love this cable. This thing I use for my Steam Deck. This one does 60 watt charging. This one does 45 watt charging. And I'm sorry, 65, 45, and 30 for the USB-A. Fast charges everything. If you use phones that do turbo charging, like Motorola devices, turbo power, it charges it just fine. I've used it for my Apple devices in the past. It works just fine, and I'm currently using it for the Samsung S23 FE. This is one of the few chargers that I have that will do super fast charging, not just fast charging for Samsung. So it's one of the reasons why I stuck by it. It hasn't overheated. It hasn't given my phone any issues. I know a lot of people think that you're supposed to buy the product that's made by the company, but that's not true. As long as it's still a high-end product, or as long as it's a decent product that has been verified, you can still use different cables and cords like Belkin and things like that. But again, to each their own. I'm not here to change your mind. Just telling you do have a secondary option. So again, here's your cable right here. It does have one USB-C right here. Oh, no. Is this Lightning? Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I hope that's not Lightning. Let me double check. I hope this ain't Lightning. Okay, it is USB-C. I got so worried when I looked inside the cable and saw the ridges. I said, oh no, Apple did it again. But no, this is in fact USB-C. Woo, got scared. I thought I bought the wrong thing. Even though I have one of these at home, I did get it from Ross for 29 bucks. So I didn't remember the packaging when I bought it. But yes, thank God, this is the right one. So you can plug this up to any Android device. You can plug this thing up to any Steam Deck, whether you have a wireless charger. Well, this doesn't wireless charge, this headset, I don't think. But it plugs in right to the back if you have USB-C to USB-C. It's very useful. And of course, if you have a product, most high-end devices, phones and things like that, tablets, only allow you to charge to a certain wattage amount. So even if you have something that's 60, 30, 40, 50, 120 watt chargers, which they do make them that high, believe it or not, they'll all charge strictly to whatever it is that, I'm about to say statistics, the stats that the phone allows. So you don't have to worry about overcharging. Now, what I will say, and please listen to me when I say this because this video is about to end. If you decide to use a Five Below product or a Ross product or something off-brand like that, and you think that it's going to charge the same way, it's just not going to. It could, in fact, overheat your device. Those phones that use 10 watts and 5 watts and 15, they're not supposed to be connected to stuff like this. This is well overpowered. And regardless of whether it only takes 15 watts from it, personally, I think safety should be your top priority for anything. So stick to those cheaper chargers when it comes to phones that have lower wattage. For the ones that have like 25, 30 and things like that, like my Samsung takes 25 watts, the one that I'm talking to you on right now. Every single time I connect it to a different device that uses 25 watts, even when you use that, I forget what that little wand it's called that lets you know the wattage amount, it never goes over 25 watts. It only accepts that. But that's because I'm using a higher end phone. Lower end phones may not have that safety precaution. So please, if you buy this to charge your phone, understand that you could come across some problems if you're using a cheaper device. Apple users, you're perfectly fine. Samsung users in a higher tier, you're perfectly fine. Higher tier phones will be fine. The lower end ones, don't use this for that. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, like and subscribe, guys. Nothing else really to say. It would have been nice if it came with, like I said, more USB tips like this one. It's a shame that I got this for like maybe $14 at Ross, which I think it was like 20 or 30 regular. This thing is $50, $60, $70, depending on the year or month or day that it was released. And it only has one USB right here, which is very disappointing. But it is what it is. Anyway, like and subscribe. Like always, guys, if you find this at Ross, go ahead and pick it up. Even if you're not an Apple user, or if you have an iPad, or you have different tablets, you want chargers that work well, that's going to keep your stuff charged while you're using it. And I can guarantee that this will definitely do the job without me plugging it up because I already have one. I'll see you guys in the next video.